Lions fans, to episode 3 of Restore the Roar. Welcome. Looking forward to get into the content. Have a crazy playoff scenario. Mike, the Lions do not need to win to get into the playoffs. We'll talk more about that at the end.
Yes.
First, want to send our respect and prayers to Damar Hamlin, his family, his friends, and his teammates. It was crazy what happened Monday night, man.
Yeah, man, it was sad. We just got to continue to send our prayers his way, man, and hope he can recover very well, man. Just, that was terrible, but,
Yeah. It's incredible the support that he's been getting. I think they've raised over $6 million on his charity. The young guy seems to be just full of integrity, and you can tell by the support. So, just want to first say something to him, and let's dig into the last game a little bit. I know we touched on it a lot in our last episode, but I want to go into the PFF grades.
Yes.
That we had. We had some really good top performers. Talk to me a little bit about your top performer for the PFF grade last week.
Oh, man, top performer, obviously, DeAndre Swift.
Swift.
Yeah, Swift, man, 90.3. He was the top player on the offense, and also Hutchinson on the defense side, 90.7. Man, that's great. Two players that could have did much better. Jay Jackson on the offensive line, man, 57.9. That's not good at all, man. He need to step up. I don't know it's because he's from Ohio State or go blue. But
go blue.
Go blue. He got to improve on that. And Alice, man, I don't know what that boy was doing last week, man. At linebacker, he should have played much better, man. 45.6. That's not it at all, man. So that's what I took from it, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised Anzalone played really poorly for PFF, but he's had a hell of a year, man.
You really have.
This is one of his best years in his career, so I know Shepard's been getting the best out of him at linebacker. But I'm with you, man. Swift balled out. We talked about that. He looked really good. Speaking of Swift, he's got 1 year left after this year on his rookie deal. Do you think we're going to extend him?
To be honest, no. Because a running back, you get him late in the draft, man, and, much cheaper. And a running back, man, you could just, plug anybody back there. I'm not going to say anybody, but you can find a replacement much easier. So I highly doubt it. He's a hell of a player, man. Real quick, shiffy. We love the name Swift because he's Swifty. So, I hope we do, but I highly doubt it, man.
Yeah, I like Swift. He's injury prone. We haven't gotten the best out of him. I know he had, I think, 1,000-yard rushing, 1,000-yard receiving aspirations this year. It's not even going to come close. So I'm with you. Unless he absolutely balls out, I don't think we're going to extend him before next year. But if he balls out next year, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I'm with you. Maybe we sign Jamal Williams, a team-friendly deal. Who knows?
We even got to look at the franchise tag too. So
it's true. Running backs get tagged a lot. It's possible, but we'll see. A couple other Houston obviously balled out, 85.1. Iffy, our D back there, he got 82.2, and Amani, your boy Amani,
man,
80.5. I was surprised to see that.
Yeah, man, especially because he's been in the doghouse for weeks. So. 80.5, that's real big for him, man. I'm proud to see him come back. Hopefully he can stay like that going against the Packers, but we'll see, man. It was good, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know we both had high hopes for him at the beginning of this year, and boy, has that changed. Well, speaking of a D-back that didn't play well, Okudah. He was playing gunner. We've been talking about him a lot, but that's because you and I mean, we drafted him high. We both liked him. We were wondering what was going to happen. He was playing gunner in the second half, but he wasn't playing corner a lot. What's going on?
At first we try to put it on, COVID, but I think maybe that shoulder's still getting to him. I know he did hurt the shoulder a couple games back. And to be honest, man, Mike Hughes, he been playing some good football, and you know how football is. Next man up. Mike been playing very well, Jerry Jacobs been playing very well too. So it seemed like Mike Hughes, Jerry Jacobs is taking on the roles of what Okudah and Warrior should have been. So we'll see, man. It just seemed like those are the two guys as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Akuda might slide inside if we draft a corner next year.
Yeah,
But I think corner has to be probably our number one
number
or
one.
number two must must get.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I think we only have three corners on the roster assigned currently for next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we have to at least get one or two in the offseason, some veteran, and probably draft one or two, one early, one late.
Yeah.
Holmes could draft. He can draft late. We'll talk about him a little bit too.
Definitely.
But yeah, we balled out, man. What a hell of a game against a bad team. But we did what we had to do. We got embarrassed in Carolina, and then we went and embarrassed the Bears at home. So, well, who do you have your game ball for?
Now, is you just talking about one game ball or how many game balls? 2, 3, how many?
I mean, it's probably hard to pick one. I don't think I can pick one. So
Okay.
you pick. You tell me how many game balls you got handed out.
All right, man. I'm gonna hand out 3. I'm gonna shock you, man.
Okay.
I feel like Swift, he definitely deserved one. You know, he got the 2 touchdowns like I predicted, you know, one on the ground and one receiving. And, you know, he almost got close to over 90 yards. He had 78 rushing. So I take that. Defensive side of the ball, you have to give it to Hutchinson, man. What that man did last week and just throughout the season. Can't take it away from that.
Oh.
And you have to give it to Dan Campbell. He whooped the Bears twice, man. You know, we haven't done it in a while. So you got to give it to the coach, man. Just the culture he's building. You have to give it to Dan Campbell, man. That's my guy. So
I love Campbell.
3. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Giving it to the coach. You don't see that too much.
Yeah, you have to, man.
Well, you know, I was thinking 3 myself, honestly, but I couldn't pick one. I would say running game. I mean, Jamal had that late run when the Bears were already defeated, but he balled out. Swift balled out. I would want to give it to the running game, so I'm a cop out and give it to a position group.
Okay.
I'd say D line.
Oh yeah.
Man, Houston, Pascal, Hutchinson.
Yes.
I mean, just absolutely balling. And then I got to give it to my boy Goff.
Yeah.
He's got a lot. He's got a lot of criticism this year, man.
Yeah, man. He had, but you know, I was one of them. You know, starting the season, I was not the biggest Goff fan, but damn it, he made a believer out of me. So we gonna ride that. And he was what, 21 for 29, 255 yards. Like, bro, 3 touchdowns.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect, man. That's a good game right there.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't high on Goff in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I kind of know what he was. Average quarterback. He can get you to the Super Bowl with a good team. He's somewhere between that 9 and 12, 9 and 15. Yeah, quarterback range. He's better than Kirk Cousins, in my opinion. A lot of people are comparing the two. We're going to go into that in another episode and definitely dive into Goff a little bit more because he's had some impressive stats.
Yeah, really have.
This year. Well, I did want to talk about what's kind of being passed over is the Hawkinson trade and our tight ends, right?
Yes.
I know our first reaction was, okay, we're okay with the trade.
Yes.
He wants a lot of money,
but he wasn't going to pay him.
Yeah, but in division, like that's what caught us off guard, I think, right?
Yeah, man, it totally caught us off guard. I remember when that trade happened. I text you, I understood the trade, but I was mad that it was to the Vikings. It should have been to like an AFC team. But, you know, we trust Brad Holmes, man. So if he did it, hey, I agree with it. But, you know, at that time, I was just highly upset. But I understood because we wasn't going to pay him the money he wanted. Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to, right? That's really why we traded. And honestly, if we would have lost to the Vikings after the trade, I think we probably feel a little bit different about it right now. But since we beat up on them, it's okay. But I think the biggest reason why we didn't keep him is because he was going to want, like you said, top 5 tight end money, and we don't need that in our offense.
We
got the receivers, we got the running game. We like to run the ball. We just didn't need it. He didn't fit what we're trying to do. And the 2 young kids that we got, Wright and Mitchell,
James Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing pretty well. We got, 12 total touchdowns from our tight ends this year. I think some of that's including Hawkinson, but that's second only behind the Chiefs. And I mean,
you forgot about Shane. You know, he caught touchdowns last game against the Bears. And to be honest, Goff been playing better football since we have traded Hawkinson, man. So, like you said, it was a trade that needed to happen. We have more weapons than just him. He didn't fit the offense. Brock Wright, James Mitchell, they block something that Hawkinson wasn't too big on doing. So you need a blocking tight end at this stage right now. So man, we doing good, and with those boys, they still holding it down. 39 reception, 328 yards, 9 touchdowns, like all together. Hey, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I did forget about Zylstra. He did have that big game against what is it?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Yep.
Yeah. And so three solid tight ends.
Exactly.
I like Wright. He had that big play on 4th down, obviously against the Jets.
Yep.
Mitchell just comes in and seems to be making big catches every game. He gets one catch, but it's a big one.
It's a big one. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with you. I think the whole team has been playing better since that trade, and I think a lot of them do that. We're healthy. We're in a rhythm now. We were mid-season going into the second half of it. But Goff, like you said, has been balling. I mean, his home stats, he broke the Stafford record for home touchdowns of 23. His home stats, 2,472 yards, 23 touchdowns, and only 3 picks.
Right. Hey, bro, if you tell anybody that just on the street, like, Goff broke Stafford record, they'll look at you like you crazy. Like, come on now, but I believe, but he did it.
Bro, you know me. I was always a huge Stafford fan. I love Stafford. Everybody used to hate on him. Oh, we're losing because of him. We're not good because of him. No, we had crap coaches, bad GM, and I can't believe the 23 touchdowns, 3 picks at home. Now it's home, but still, I mean, just.
And bro, imagine if Stafford had this coaching staff and this team. Oh my God, there would be no underthrown balls to Williams on that outside. I can tell you that, but everything happened for a reason. That's how I look at it. He won his Super Bowl. We doing pretty damn good right now, so it all worked out for the best.
I'm happy for him, and with the Rams, he won the Super Bowl. I was a huge Stafford fan. Sad to see him go. Would have been nice to see what he could have did with this coaching staff, this GM, in his prime of his career. But he's hurt now.
Yeah,
we'll see. Who knows what's going to happen with McVay? There's rumors that he may retire, going to the booth. So we'll see. But last 8 games for Goff, 15 touchdowns, 0 picks, 108 passer rating, and he actually tied a Lions record for most games in a season with over 120 over 120 PFF passer rating.
Yep.
Does he get 5 against Green Bay?
Oh man, it'll be hard, but Green Bay defense is nice. This is the game that I said I predict he would throw interception. So that little streak about to come to the end. But we'll see, man. I want us to win because I want us to get into the playoffs with that 7 seed. So we'll see.
Man, I can't wait for this game. We're gonna touch on a lot more in our next episode. Yeah, but let's look ahead to the Packers, right? Before this next episode of ours, we got flexed. We knew we were going to. It's a huge game. What are your initial thoughts about this game, man?
Man, this game is big, man. It's big for this team. It's big for the coaching staff, man. It's even big for the organization. Because if we win and we knock out the big bad Packers that have been owning this division for years, it's a statement win. Even if Seattle do win and we still win this game, it's big going into next season. So it's a big game. It's a really big game, man.
Yeah, I agree. Now let me ask you this: if we know going into the game that Seattle won and we're eliminated, how do you think we're going to show up?
Still play hard because we have Campbell. We play for that coach, man.
I'm with you.
Yeah, we still gonna play hard, man.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of stuff that Lions players are upset, Packers that are not putting the respect on their name. Man, we're gonna break down position group for the Packers and the Lions next episode and go where we think who has the strengths and who has a weaker side to it. Gotcha. But I do think Green Bay has a little bit more talent than us overall.
Yes,
and they're more cohesive because they had the MVP last year in Rodgers. But I think it's going to be a chippy game. I think we're going to be pissed off, and we're going to come hit them in the mouth, no matter what. Whether Seattle lost or it's a playoff game because we don't like the Packers.
Not at all.
We want to stop them from getting in the playoffs.
We definitely do, man. I hope we go in there and show them that we're a real deal Holyfield team,
Yeah.
It's going to be a game for sure, man. So the NFL knew what they were doing by flexing us to prime time, and this give the world a chance to see how these Lions is building, and they finna feel the roar for real.
I mean, we played on Thanksgiving, right? It was a good game. We lost, what have you, but this is our first Sunday night primetime game, essentially, outside of Thanksgiving this year, and it's going to be a good one, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of playoffs, I said we didn't have to win to get in, right? You know, obviously there's a couple different bizarre scenarios that most likely won't happen, but if Seattle loses and we tie the Packers, we still get in, right?
Yeah.
But what would happen if we tied the Packers and Seattle tied the Packers or tied the Rams? Not going to happen, most likely.
Not going to happen.
But if Washington beats Dallas, we would then theoretically get in, even with a tied record with Seattle, because of the tiebreaker, which would be conference record.
Yeah.
So, now, you and I both know we just need to go in there, get the job done. And win, regardless of what happens. Exactly. But it's crazy to think that, there's still a couple options for that.
And I still feel like even if we don't get in, this season was still a success, man. Coming from 1-6 to where we at right now, a chance to get into the playoffs, man, that's huge for this organization, So whatever happens, man, I'll be proud as a fan. I like the direction we're headed with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. And hey, I really love what we're doing, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I mean, I said my record beginning of the year was I think we're going to win somewhere between 7 and 9 games.
Yeah.
I pretty much predicted every game that I thought we were going to win and lose this year. I did think we were going to beat Seattle, and I did think we were going to lose on the road to the Bears because division's just tough.
Yeah, it is.
But outside of those 2 games, I pretty much thought we were going to be where we were. I did have us originally losing to the Packers.
Yeah.
But we played well this year, a lot better than I thought, even though the record was pretty similar.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man. And that is all kudos to our boys, Campbell and Holmes, man.
Exactly.
And then Ben Johnson. He's been a surprise this year. So talk to me about those three people and how crucial they are to us.
Man, they're very crucial. Even Glenn on the defensive side, he's crucial on it too, man. So we just got to keep that core together. It's going to be hard because I do feel like, NFL teams are going to try to come after Ben Johnson because he's a young, new, offensive coordinator. But I believe we could keep him for at least 2 more years for sure.
Ooh.
And then, they're going to try to get him with the big bucks. So we'll see. I like the direction the team is going with all 4 of those guys, even with Deuce Staley as our assistant head coach. So, he been on Swift head a lot. So I just like it, man. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I can't forget about Glenn. I mean, he was in the running for a potential head coaching job after last year. And I love all of our coaches. Most of them are former football players. They know the game, right? They played it, and they know how to relate to these players. And I think that's why they are all buying in.
Yes.
And especially with Campbell. I mean, 94% of fans are believing that we're heading in the right direction. Obviously, we're on a hot streak, so that's up. Yes. But I think I can speak for you. We both think we got the right duo. And
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Holmes can draft. Do you think that we got the next guy in the GM position with Brad Holmes?
Yes, easy.
I mean, with his first 2 drafts and it's just absolutely incredible. And we'll dive into that drafts of last couple years with this regime, as well as what we expect next year in a future episode. But I love what Campbell said, man. This is a win-win either way.
Yes,
but we're going to come in. And he had a quote, I'm paraphrasing. He was like, the only one thing that matters is winning. It's us or nobody. And the intensity of the game is going to be a playoff game. This guy is going to have these players fired up, man.
Oh, yeah, man. You like we always say in Detroit, man. Detroit versus everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is against us, man. So we're going to go in there. It's all about winning. That's it.
Dude, how can you not like him? He's made some mistakes. That's growing pains, but this guy has got this team playing. Yeah. But you did touch on Ben Johnson potentially leaving. You said 2 more years. I think that's a stretch, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I think we might be able to get away with 1 more year, but if our offense plays the way, I mean, because he's young, right?
He's young, exactly.
He's young.
This is his first year.
Mm-hmm, this is his first coordinator role. Yeah, I think he was like, what was he?
I want to say special teams, I believe.
Yeah. So maybe 1 more year. He's going to be a hot commodity, but he is young. If we play on offense the way we did this year, next year, he's gone.
And one other coach, man, we have to give a shout out to that nobody really give a shout out to. Antoine Randall.
Dude.
The way he have the wide receivers playing and the blocking they do, oh my God. We have to start giving that man the respect he deserves, man, because he been doing a fantastic job with our wide receiver core for sure.
Yeah, good call out because, like I said, I like all of our coaches.
Definitely.
I was surprised we fired the D-backs coach, but
But we played better since we fired.
We started winning. But,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man, Mike. It was always great, man, to be on with you, going over all this content. Guys, please like our Facebook page. It's the Gridiron Talk. We're on Podbean at Restore the Roar Podcast. We're at Twitter at twitter.com/_Restore the Roar, or find us on YouTube at Restore the Roar VODCAST. Don't forget, we're giving away this PS5 sometime. I'm hoping next year. We just need to get 1,000 followers or 1,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. So make it happen. Like, share, post, comment, get interactive with us.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned. See you next episode.
All right, yes, sir.